Hello my dear students, I hope you can hear me. You can hear me, you can see me clearly, right? Okay, lightings, everything is fine. Okay. So today this is our last demo class. Okay, we have already done 2 demo classes. So today the class is the last demo class. So I'll be covering a very interesting topic of reasoning in today's class, and that is your blood relations. Okay. So we'll do each and everything in full concept, and also we'll learn all the details, especially what type of questions we can expect in our upcoming exams and so on. So as per, if I talk about Sikkim Police SI previous year paper analysis, I did few analysis and I found out that there is question from blood relation, okay, which keeps on repeating again and again. So it is very important for us to cover this particular topic. We cannot skip this topic. Okay, and also what type of question does it repeat? So generally simple type questions you'll be able to see it, and also some pointing type questions you'll be able to see it. I haven't seen any core type questions, but yes, the other 2 types I've already told you, so these are coming. So yes, after today's class, our batch class will start. Okay, you'll be notified with the entire class timetable, syllabus, everything. So make sure to join the batches and do not do any more delay, because you know your exam is coming nearby. So we must prepare for the best and get the best guidance as we can till the time of exam. So let's start. So I'm starting the topic blood relation. Okay. So generally in blood relation topic, what are the types? Okay, what are the types that you see in blood relation topic? So let's understand the types first. Okay, let's understand the types of blood relation question that we'll be able to see in the exam. So generally the types that we have to cover would be, first, number 1 would be a simple statement based question. Okay, simple statement based question. Okay, simple statement based question. This is the first simple type that we have to cover. The next will be going to the other type, which is somewhat similar to simple type, but you can say it puzzle type or puzzle based question. Okay, you'll understand when you see the question, you'll understand the difference between these 2 types. And the last one that we'll have to cover for our upcoming recruitment exam is your pointing type question. Now this pointing type blood relation question is very much trending nowadays in any exam. Okay, you'll be able to see that it is repeating again and again in each and every exam, whatever you appear. If you talk about SSC, if you talk about banking, if you talk about railways, okay, if you talk about CSAT portion of UPSC, you'll be able to see that blood relation point type question, it keeps on repeating again and again. So that's why this is somewhat crucial for us. And yes, we are not covering this in today's class because blood relation will require us minimum 2 classes to cover. So today I'll be showing you simple statement based question, and also if time persists, then I will also show you puzzle based question. So then the next class we can fully focus on the pointing type. Okay, and also to solve pointing type questions, you must be very much familiar with what? With the simple type question. Okay, because what we need to do in blood relation is, in the question they'll give you few details, few information, okay, regarding what, sir? Regarding a family. Okay, suppose there is a family. Okay, there is a family, and they'll be giving you few relations. Like if I say that A is the father of B, B is the brother of C, and so on. Based on those details that they have given, they will ask us few questions. After giving all the details, they will ask you, then you should tell that how is A related to F, something like that. How is B related to A in that case, you know? So in such a way, we have to find the relation between these elements. Generally, the alphabets that you use are known as the elements. But before going to directly the questions, we need to understand few basics that we require to solve this particular question. So first basic is that we must learn how to make family tree. Okay, what is family tree and how to make? So I'll teach you each and everything in full detail. Okay, so to make the family tree, what we must be familiar with? We must be familiar with few notations that we use in blood relation. Okay, what are those notations? So generally notations are the symbols that we use to describe a relation and to describe The gender generally, okay, because our family consists of what? Our family mainly consists of male members and female members. And if you combine all of them, then we can see that there is a family. Okay, because your son, your daughter, whatever it is always a male or a female. So obviously we need to define how to define male and how to define female when we are doing a question. So let's understand the notation first. So I'm writing the relation out here. Relation, okay, and based on the relation, what is the symbol or sign that we are going to use? Okay, let's understand it in full detail, because once we understand this thing, then you can easily make the blood relation family tree, and then you can answer each and every question whatever you wish to. Okay, just suppose number one, suppose I have to show a male in a family, a male member, okay, a male, and suppose I say that the element A is a male. How do we show it? So generally for male, we'll write simply A, and on the top we'll write plus. This plus would denote that we are writing the element which is a male. You can use this, or in some books you'll be able to see something like this also. They'll write A and they'll make a square like this. This is another notation that you can use. And if not this, then they can use another notation that they'll put A, they'll put a square, and along with square they'll put a plus sign also. So whatever suits you, you can use it. But to save time, we are going to stick to this one. Just write the element and then you put the sign on top of it. Okay? Male hai to A plus. Okay? Male hai to A box, like that. Right? Next. Number 2. Suppose I want to show female. Suppose I want to show female. Now how to show female? Suppose I say B is a female. B is a female. So I would simply write B, and on the top I will write the negative sign. Okay? So for female it is negative sign. Similarly in other book you will be able to see that they write B and they make a circle. So circle also stands for a female. And if not this, then there is another way of doing it. You'll write B, you'll make a circle, and then you'll put a negative sign on top. Clear? Then you'll put a negative sign on top. So this is how we denote female. For male, just add plus, box, or box and a plus. For female, add minus, circle, or a circle and a negative. Now let's understand what if we want to show some relations. Okay, relations. Like, first I want to show siblings. Siblings matlab sab brother, sister, and a brother, sister. So brother sister relation, how do we show? So it's very simple. Suppose I say A and B are brother and sister. A and B are brother and sister, where I said that A is a male and B is a female. So firstly what you'll do, you'll write A, and as A is a male they have given, we'll write plus. Okay. B is a female, so you write B and you add minus. Okay. And to simply show sibling, to simply show that they are brother and sister, we are going to use just single line like this. Single line. Okay. So this single line will tell me that this is the relation of sibling. Okay. These are the relation of sibling. Sir, A and B are sibling, and to show sibling we use this single line. But as I'm giving you the full detail concept, in some books you'll be able to see like this. They'll write A, they'll write B, and instead of a single line they'll put double arrow like this. Double arrow they can put. Okay. But we are not going to use this. Okay. It's time waste, because to make arrow also you'll need like 2-3 seconds. Okay. And in exam each second counts. Okay. So we are not going to stick to this. We are going to stick to this. Whatever I'm writing at the first, these are the symbols notations that we are going to use to solve the question. Now next part, couple. Because a family is formed only when there is a couple, like our parents, है ना, mummy, papa. How do we show? Suppose I say A and B are husband and wife, where A is a husband and B is the wife. So I would say, sir, I would write A, I would write plus. Why? Because A is husband, a male. Okay, and on the side I'm going to write B, and I would write a minus sign. Why B and minus? Because this is a female. And as they are married, as they are couple, we are going to use double line. For siblings, single line. For couples, we are going to use double line. Okay? Okay? But in some book, if you'll see, they'll be putting like this. They'll write A, they'll write B, and in between them, they're going to put a plus and a circle. So see, it's so complicated. Okay? So we are not going to use this. We are going to use what? We are going to use this one. Okay? Simple notations, which will save us a lot of time. And lastly, I don't have space. Just a minute. I'm writing it here. I think you'll be able to see. Yeah, you'll be able to see. Chalo. Last is, suppose I want to show generation gap. Generation gap. Gap. Now, what is generation gap? Generation gap is, suppose I tell you that my father, okay, I am the son of my father. So if I want to show the relation between me and my father, how am I going to show? So it's very simple. See, before me, my father has come. Before me, my father has come to this world. So I'll put father at the top, and for me, I'll be putting myself at the bottom. Okay? So generation gap ke liye we use a single vertical line. This vertical line is your generation gap. And here, this is the son. Who is this? So this is me. This is me. So I'm putting my father on top of me because obviously as my father came to this world, then only I could have come. Okay, I came. So for that reason, to show generation gap, we are going to use simply a vertical line. So I'm writing it here. Suppose I say A is the father of B. So A is the father, so I'll put a plus sign. And who is the father of whom? B. So you're going to put B at the bottom like this. Okay, so you're simply going to put B at the bottom. I hope it's clear. Just a minute. Okay, I think it's okay now. Okay. Any doubt if you have, please feel free to use the comment section. Okay, I won't be able to listen to you because I've put the mic on. Okay, so as I put the mic on, I won't be able to listen it to you. So you can use the comment section to type in your doubts if you have any doubt. Okay, or you can hand raise it. Okay, this is the provision that we are giving it to you. Okay, so simply these are the notations that we are going to use. Now let me give a revision quickly. Okay, this table you can take a snapshot of it. Okay, but let me give you a quick revision of what we have learned in this thing. Okay, so we have learned that, sir, to solve blood relation questions, which is very, very crucial for any exam, not only Sikkim Police SI, but any exam, we must be familiar with the notations first. Notations, okay? And what are the notations that we are going to use? So the notations that we are going to use is, suppose I want to show a male, okay, and I say that A is a male, A is a male, then simply you're putting A and a plus. This is the simple notation that we are going to use. This is the final notation that we are going to use. Okay? Next, suppose I want to show a female, then I'm going to put B and a minus. Okay, minus sign would indicate that we are talking about a female. Next, I said, suppose I want to show relation of siblings, matlab brother, sister, and so on. So I'll put A and I'll put B. Suppose A is a male, B is a female, and to show them that they are both brother and sister, I'll just put a straight line like this. Okay, straight line. This would show sibling relation. Next one, if I want to show what? Couple, okay, like husband and wife, couple, husband and wife. So I'll put A, and suppose I say A is a husband, so I'll put a double line to show them that they are couple. Now out here by default, if A is a male, B, you have to put negative sign. Okay, you have to put negative sign. Okay? Some of them might say, so nowadays male gets married, female gets married, but this thing does not work in blood relation. Okay? So we'll stick to the older days where only female can get married to a male and a male will get married to a female. So if I say A is a husband of B, then automatically I would make B a female because A is a husband. And lastly, I said generation gap. Generation gap, like if I want to show father, mother, okay, my father, my mother relation. So how would I show? Then obviously my father, suppose I say A is the father of B. So B would come at the bottom. So this generation gap shows the relation between a son or daughter or whatever, because see, B's gender is unspecified, so we don't know the gender. So one exception that you have to keep in mind is, okay, one exception that we must follow while solving blood relation question is what? First exception is that do not assume gender yourself. Do not assume gender yourself. Never. We would never do this, okay? If you're going to assume the gender, then you're going to get the wrong answer. And whatever answer you'll be getting, that will be shown in the options. So that's why this is somewhat a tricky topic, okay? So you cannot do assumption. Suppose I say B is genderless, we don't know the gender, then just keep it like this. Okay, unless it's given in the question like B is a daughter. So I would put B negative. Okay, but to show generation gap, we use a vertical line. Clear? So this is the entire thing. Okay, this is the entire thing that we require to make what? So all this thing we have learned for what? All this thing we have learned only because we need to learn how to make your family tree. Okay? How to make your family tree. For this reason only, we have learned all these notations and all this concept. Now let's dive into the topic and see how to make family tree, and then do some questions to grasp our knowledge of this particular topic. It's a very simple topic if you understand everything in from the very start. Okay, let me give a question like this. What kind of question you can expect in this particular topic? So they would ask you a question like, first of all, they'll give you relation. Like I'm writing a short question out here. Suppose I say that A is the brother of B, who is A is a brother of B, who is the daughter of D, who is the daughter of D. Okay, next part. E is the wife of D. E is the wife of D, and E is the wife of D and mother of, suppose, let me take one more element, mother of X. Okay, and mother of X. Right? Let me give one more relation I can give, then I can solve. I want to give one more relation. Suppose they have given that W is the grandfather of, W is the grandfather of, suppose I write here B. W is the grandfather of B. Okay, so done, sir. We have written down the question. Now we can solve the question. Okay, if you're speaking something, I won't be able to listen to you. I think I'm speaking something. So please use the comment box. Let me remove if you want to say something. Okay, I hope you're not saying anything. So please mute yourself. Okay. Thank you. Okay, coming back to this. So suppose I have written this question, and based on this question, what I want you to do is I want you to make the blood relation family tree, and you need to answer. So what is the question they are asking? They are asking that how is no, suppose I say E. Hello. Firstly, let's draw the family tree on this question. So we'll write each and everything line by line and we'll draw it together. Okay, see properly. Once you see it, you'll be able to understand. Now see what's given. First condition: A is the brother of B. That means A is a brother of B. So how would I show? Sir, I would show A is a brother. That means A would be a male, and a brother is a brother of whom? Of B. I'll put B out here. And as I say brother means sibling. So to show siblings relation, we draw a single line. A is the brother of B. See? Now I'm not putting any sign on B because I don't know the gender yet. Okay, I'm just put A is the brother of B. Next out here, this who. This who word that they give you is for this particular element that we are talking, this B. Okay? Who means we are talking about B, not A. Some students think that they are talking about A only. No. Who, wherever you will see, it is always talking about the previous element, whatever it is. So we are talking about B. B is the daughter of D. B is the daughter of D. Now B is the daughter means what? B will be a female. Right? So I'll put minus sign on B. And as I said, she is the daughter of D. Then obviously D would come first and then D would come. So D would go at the top. D will go at the top and B would come at the bottom. I hope it's clear. Okay, na? How? Let me explain again. A is brother of B, so I put A plus and I put out here B. And as they are sibling, I put a single line. Next, B is the daughter of D. So B is a daughter, is a female. That's why I put a negative sign. And as she is a daughter, she would come below D. Why? Because D would come and then B would come. Okay? Okay, this part is also done. See, I'm not putting any gender myself unless you see the question. Next part. E is the wife of D. Now, as I say E is the wife of D, we would say that obviously then D and E are couple. So to show couple, we draw double line. Okay, and I'll put E out here. And what is E, sir? E is the wife, they are saying, wife. Now when I say E is a wife, then E would be a female, so I would put a negative sign. And as she is the wife of D, D would be what? Obviously husband. By default, this will become husband. Now here I can put plus sign. Why? Because I said before only that in blood relation, only male and female can get married, okay? Not male or female, which happens nowadays. So don't bring all of these here. Okay, just remember that only male and female can get married. And here I put the gender myself. Why? Because it is by default. Okay. 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 E is the wife of D and mother of X. Acha. Now I am saying N. This N means we are talking about E only. Okay, E. Because this is a conjunction. Hai na? Conjunction generally we put it for the previous element that we are talking in English. So E is the wife of D and means we are talking about E only. E is the mother of X. Now E should be the mother of X. I would say, sir, E is already a mother. And if I say mother of X, that means X should come at the bottom. Hai na? X should come here. And I would say, sir, X will also be a sibling because E is the mother of X. And you can see that E is the mother of A and E is the mother of B also. And obviously, X would be another sibling of them and X would be a son or daughter. I don't know. Here we are not specified what gender it is, right? So X would come here and E is the mother. Next part. W. W is the grandfather of B. Now W should be the grandfather of B. So if I say grandfather, what does it mean? So obviously grandfather would come above my father. See, suppose I talk about my father. Okay, under my father I am his son. Okay, whom would I say grandfather? My father's father would be a grandfather for me. My father's father would be what, sir? Would be a grandfather for me. So I have to put in above 2 generations. Above 2 generations, you know, on top of 2 generations. Okay, son, father and father's father. So 2 generations above. That means I need to put W above D or E. Now the thing is, here the question did not specify properly. He is just saying that it is, okay, what is saying? That W is the grandfather of B. But grandfather from whose side? From mother's side or father's side? And because we know, sir, suppose I talk about myself. I am the son of my parents. My parents means obviously my father and my mother. Okay. Now if we say grandfather, grandfather can be from 2 sides. Okay. One side would be if I talk about my father's father, he can become my grandfather. And if I talk about my mother's side, mother's mother, mother's father, that is your grandfather. In Hindi and Nepali, what do we say? What do we say? For father's father, we say Dadaji, ya Dadu. Right? And from mother's side, we say Nana. Hai na? Nana. Dada, Nana. Okay. And similarly, if I talk about here grandmother, then this becomes what, sir? This becomes Dadi. Right? And if I talk about grandmother here, from my mother's side, I would call her Nani. Now the condition is, when I just say that W is a grandfather of B, so we know that W will come on top of D or E, but where? So that's why here the question would specify you these 2 terms. What are these 2 terms? Sir, these 2 terms are, when I say the term, first term that I say is paternal. Paternal means what? So paternal means when I talk about my father's family side. Okay. पापा के फैमिली साइड को बोलेंगे पैटर्नल, ठीक है. सिमिलरली इफ आई टॉक अबाउट माय मदर्स फैमिली साइड आई वुड कॉल इट मैटरनल. ओके सर, अभी समझ में आया सर. व्हाट इज पैटर्नल, व्हाट इज मैटरनल, आई अंडरस्टूड नाउ. ओके, इफ आई टॉक अबाउट दादाजी दादी, है ना, सो दैट वुड बी फ्रॉम माय फादर साइड. But if I talk about Nana, Nani, that would be from my mother's side. Okay, and it's very easy to understand this thing in Hindi because we use two different terms. Okay, but in English, okay, we use paternal grandfather, paternal grandmother, or maternal grandfather, maternal grandmother. Okay, but in some languages, both of them are known to be similar. Like if I talk about Assamese, in there, from my father's side also grandfather is known as Koka, and from mother's side also grandfather is known as a Koka. है ना. So it is not purely defined, but out here in Hindi it's very easy to define, and in English also it's easy to define. From father side, if it is, we call it paternal grandfather or grandmother, and from mother side maternal. So these are the two words that you'll be able to see here. So in this question the examiner would surely give you this term, okay, from maternal or paternal, because if he'll just put grandfather we won't be able to put it anywhere, है ना. कहाँ रखेंगे, मम्मी का पापा भी हो सकता है, पापा का पापा भी हो सकता है, right? For that reason only what we need to do, the examiner needs to specify the relation more consciously, okay, more concisely. So if I write here suppose maternal, if I write here that W is the maternal grandfather of E, maternal grandfather of E, then I would simply put W at the top of E. W will go at the top of E, and this would become what, sir? As I'm saying, grandfather. Grandfather means male. Grandfather means male. So I'll put a plus sign out here. And now once we have noted this, you'll be able to see that we have finally created the family tree. Now this is the family tree, and based on this family tree only, you'll have to answer each and every question. Okay, based on this family tree, we'll have to answer each and every question. I hope it's clear. Okay. Now let's see what was the question that they have asked us. What was the question? So the question was what? How is E related to B? Now when I say E related to B, what the student do is they'll look from E to B, and that is wrong. When I say how is E related to B, that means we are talking about B to E. So we'll ask you, what is B calling E? This is what they mean when I say related to B. So we are relating to B. So B से E को देखो. So B is where, sir? B is here and E is here. So from this diagram what we see, sir, we see that E would be the mother of B. देखो, B's father is D and D's wife is E. Then obviously we would call her a mother. So out here the answer that we'll be getting is mother. Okay, based on this family tree diagram, the answer that I'm going to get is mother. Okay, the answer would be mother. Why? Because I'm looking from B to E. Okay, we look from B to E. So whoever B is a daughter in this case. Okay, for E, B would be a daughter, and for B, E would be her mother. Okay. Okay. Now similarly, if I write this question, okay, suppose I write this, how is X related to, suppose W. Let me write W. Okay, and obviously in your exam it is multiple choice exam, so you'll have 4 options. So I'm giving you 4 options. Option A, grandson. Option B, granddaughter. Option C, son. Option D, cannot be determined. Determined. Now what option that you're going to take in this question? They're asking how is X related to W. Now you have to see from W to X, okay, because we are asking the related to whom? W. So we'll look from W to X. We'll look from W towards X. So see here, sir, if I look from W to X, so I can see that X is 2 generation below. See, first generation, second generation below. Then obviously this generation is known as what, sir? Grand. है ना? Grandchild, grandchild. Okay, grandchild. Now what is a grandchild? Generally, grandchild word is used when we are not specifying a gender. Grandchild, it can be male, it can be female, both. Okay, when I say grandchild, that means we are talking about male, female, both. है ना? But if you see the option, they are given grandson, granddaughter. Now, you tell me, as we don't see any gender of G, any gender of X. ऐसा कोई gender है? नहीं है ना sir? I don't see a plus sign, I don't see a negative sign. Then I cannot say that X is a grandson or granddaughter. So in this question, when I say how is X related to W, you will be answering cannot be determined. Cannot be determined means we are not being able to answer. That's why we say it cannot be determined. But here why we could have answered, because it's defined relation. See, if you see from B to E, I can see that E is a mother because there is a sign there. So that's why here we'll be able to see mother, but out here we can say the answer would be cannot be determined. हाँ, but अगर यहाँ पे ऐसा कुछ option होता, like there would have been an option of grandchild. Suppose instead of son, I would have given you grandchild. तब मैं grandchild tick कर देता, ठीक है? Because grandchild is like neutral gender. It can be for both male and female, both. ठीक है? So that's why I would have ticked grandchild in this case. But out here, as we don't know the gender, so we are going to tick the cannot be determined. I hope it's clear, right? Okay, just a minute. हाँ अभी ठीक है, ठीक है? Understood? Thumbs up? Yeah, chalo, good. Let's move to the next. Okay, next. Now, no more concept. These are the things that we must understand. So let me ask you a few simple questions and then we move to the main questions now quickly. Okay? Let me ask you simple questions and then we move to the main questions. Suppose I draw a family tree. Then I say, suppose I have A here and suppose A is married to C. Okay, and C has a brother whose name is suppose B and B is a male. Okay, now I say that we have father of A. Father of A is suppose F, है ना? ठीक है, F, and father of C. Father of C is suppose let me say G. And C has a mother also, and she is suppose I. I is the mother of C. And suppose I say that A and C are married, so they have 2 children. Okay, so one is a female, and suppose her name is X. She is a female. And one more is a suppose male, and his name is suppose, let me take what, W. W is a male. Okay? And I would say, suppose I can use the word like this, that X is a single mother. X is a single mother. So I can say that X would have a child. And suppose that child is, suppose, let me say P. Okay, and let me give the gender of P also. Out here, suppose I take X is a, P is a female. Okay, and X is a single mother. So these are the words which you'll be able to see in your exam, in the questions. Now, based on this family tree, let's understand what type of question we can see and what will be the answers. Okay, so I'm writing in short. Suppose first question is very simple. Question: how is number A? Suppose I ask, how is F related to W? How is F related to W? So you can use the comment box to answer. Let me see who's giving the answer. Batao. How is F related to W? How is F related to W? Now when I say F related to W, then you'll have to see from W to F. W से F को देखो. I would say, sir, W is here and F is here. So if I look from W to F, you'll be able to see that. See, sir, W's mother is C and her husband is A. That means in simple terms, I'm saying that W's father is A. Okay, W's father is A. And A's father will be what? You can understand this by putting yourself in the situation. I am there, my father is there and my father's father is there. So who will be that be? Who that will be? You would say grandfather, okay? But as we see that, sir, it's from my father's side. It's from my father's side. So here I'm going to specify that part also. That, sir, we are going from father's side. Okay, so here the answer would be paternal grandfather. Because when we go from father's side, we use the word paternal. Clear? We use the word paternal. And similarly, if in this question I would have asked you, like, how is I related to, how is I related to, suppose let me say B, not B, wait, let me say X. So what will be the answer? Okay, what will be the answer? So let's see. Sir, when I say I related to X, I have to look from X to I. I have to look from X to I. I have to look from X towards I. And X towards I. So if you look from X to I, what you will be able to see? I can see that, sir, X's mother is C. X's mother is C. And C's mother is I. See, C's mother is I. Because C's father is G, so I would be her mother. So understand like this. Me, okay, me. My mother's mother. What will I call? In Hindi we call it Nani, okay? But in English we cannot say Nani. So what we say? We'll say, sir, we are going from our mother's family side. So we are going to use maternal word. Maternal. Maternal grandfather. Okay, and also sometimes what happens is, in options they might give you only grandfather. Okay, and suppose they can give you maternal grandfather also. So you'll always try to define the relation more precisely. So you would not take only grandfather, you would take maternal grandfather if both the options are there. In your MCQ. Okay? But if there is only grandfather and other relations are like uncle, auntie and so on, then obviously you'll take only grandfather. But if both are there, suppose grandfather is also there and maternal grandfather is also there, so you'll have to take maternal because we need to precisely define the relation properly. Okay, let's see the next one. Let me ask you next question. Very good, some of you are being able to answer. Shabash. Let's see what will be this be. Okay. How is B related? How is B related to W? How is B related to W? So this is the question. Try to answer. How is B related to W? Uncle? Yes? Okay, students are commenting. Very good. Uncle. Anna? I would say yes, sir. See, if I see from W to B, because related to W I said, so you have to look from W to B. You would see, sir, see W's mother. W's mother is C. W's mother is who, sir? C. And C's brother is B. So always put yourself in the situation for now. Later on you'll be able to answer quickly. So W is me, okay, and my mother is C. My mother is C, and her brother is B. Her brother. My mother's brother will be what for me? You would say uncle. Okay, you would say uncle. But more precisely, I'm going from my mother's side. I'm going from my mother's side. So I would write maternal uncle. Maternal uncle. Maternal uncle. And also, as I see that B is a male, that's why I'm writing uncle. If B was a female, then I would have written maternal aunt, या फिर maternal auntie. ठीक है? Generally, they don't use the word auntie; they will give you aunt, maternal aunt. ठीक है? Okay, let's see the next question. Suppose now I'm asking you number D. How is suppose B. Okay, how is या फिर ऐसे लो, how is W related to B? अभी बताओ, see, I have just interchanged the elements, but if you interchange the element also, your entire question language would change. How is W related to B? Now what you have to do, you have to look from B to W, है ना? Because we are saying that related to W, related to B. So B से W को देखो. So if I look from B to W, what do you see? sir, B's sister is C and her son is W. B's sister and her son is W. Suppose I am B, I have a sister and her son is W. So what will that son be? क्या होगा बताओ? You would say भतीजा, है ना? In Hindi we say भतीजा, right? But in English what we call it? So we call it, as W is a male, so I would call it nephew. ठीक है? I would call it nephew. And similarly, if I talk about X, suppose W or suppose X related to B, then I would say this would be niece. Okay, niece. For female we use the word niece and for male we use the word nephew. ठीक है? I think I have covered everything. The relations, paternal, maternal हो गया, grandfather, uncle and all, you know it. Nephew, niece, and बस हो जाएगा. इतने में काफी है. ठीक है? And last relation, suppose I say this, number E. Okay, how is G related to P? This is one question I want you to answer, and one more question you have to answer. How is P related to G? Okay, so I want you to answer round about the corners. है ना? पहले ये बताओ फिर ये भी बताओ. चलो, use the comment to answer. I want to see how many of you can answer. Sir, great great grandfather. This is from G related to P or P related to G? First one, yes, very good, correct. है ना? देखो, how is G related to P? How is G related to P? That means I have to go from P to G. See, P's mother's father. मतलब P and X relation is, sir, X is the mother of P. C would be grandmother because C is the mother of X, so she would become grandmother. And on top, if you go, so on top of grandmother we have great grandmother. So here the answer would be great grandmother. Great grandmother. Suppose there was one more generation on the top, then I would use great great. Okay, great great. So when you keep going on top, you'll have to use the word great 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 as many times as possible. ठीक है? तो great grandmother you would say, great grandmother. Now similarly the reverse relation. Now I'm coming from the top. Acha, out here the option might also be like this. They would ask you more precisely, so you would say great grandmother or great grandmother नहीं यार, great grandfather होगा ना. G is a male. Great grandfather. Okay, but if you want to go more precisely, then you would say great maternal grandfather. Great maternal, because मम्मी के पापा का बात चल रहा है ना. Mother's father. So maternal, from mother's side we are saying. ठीक है? Okay. Now similarly, if I come from, now P related to G means I'm coming from G to P. Now when I come from G to P, same thing. Daughter, है ना? फिर granddaughter, then this should be great granddaughter. And why daughter? Because P is a female. So this should become great granddaughter. Great granddaughter. Clear? So these are the type of relation they would ask you. So let's solve 2-3 questions and then we wrap up the class for today, because today we are focusing on concepts. So I've given you the concepts. Now we can do 2-3 questions and then we can end our session. Let's see what type of question you can expect in your exam. Okay? Let's see what type of question we can expect. So this is the question number 1. Now as I taught you all the concepts in full detail, so I have not given very simple question to solve first. I'm really going to a good question, and I can guarantee those who are sitting here from the first moment, you'll be easily able to answer this question. Let's draw it together. Okay? Let's draw this question together, and the next question I'll give you timer. Okay. What's given, sir? It is given that X is the sister of Y. So X is the sister of Y means I'm going to make X as a female, and she is sister of whom? Y. So I'm going to put Y out here. And as they are siblings, I'm going to use a single line. Next, Y is the daughter of M. Y is the daughter of M means I would say, sir, Y should come below M. So I would say M will come here. Okay, and Y is a daughter means I'm going to put a negative sign on Y. We are not sure what is the gender of M yet. Next, M is the mother. Now as I see M is the mother, I would put a negative sign because she is a female, M is a female. Mother of whom? Mother of P. Now see, X, Y are daughters of M, then obviously P would come here. Because she is the mother of P also, then obviously X, Y and P are your siblings. Next part. P is the brother of Y. As they say brother of Y, I can put P's gender to be male. Done. Next. T is brother of X's mother. T is brother of what, sir? X's mother. So X's mother is whom? X's mother is M. And her brother is T. So I'm going to put T out here. And T is a male, so I'm going to put plus. Why male? Because brother. They are mentioned brother. T is brother of X's mother. So X's mother's brother is T. So X ki mummy kaun hai? M. And her brother is T. So I'm putting T out here with a positive sign. Brother. Okay, next. Then, okay, we are done. This is the family tree that we have drawn. Now what's the question? Then how is T related to M? So when I say T related to M, I have to look from M to T. I have to look from M towards T. तो M से T को देखो सर. M से T देखोगे तो यहाँ पे क्या दिख रहा है सर? M would call T what sir? M would call T her brother. है ना? तो आंसर होगा C, brother. Clear? So here the answer would be option C. That is your brother. Clear? Easy, है ना? So this is what is blood relation. So they'll give you a question, and based on the question, you have to draw the relation tree or family tree. And once you draw the relation tree or family tree, you just have to see which option is showing that particular relation. Clear? Okay, let's move to another question. Let's see another question. Okay, see, A is husband of M. A is husband of M, है ना? अभी A क्या है सर? M का husband है. So I would say sir, I would draw A, and as A is a husband, I'm going to put a plus sign. Male है ना? Of whom? Of M. तो M और A का शादी, है ना? In short, marriage means I would use double line. Couple है ना? And A is a male, then M would surely be a female. ठीक है? Because I said marriage can be between male and a female only. Okay. ठीक है, A is the husband of M, A is the husband of M. Next part. Who? This who is for M. Who is sister-in-law of N? Who is sister-in-law of N? Now M should be the sister-in-law. Okay, now this is another relation I forgot to mention. Sister-in-law means what? I would say sir, sister-in-law of N. M should be sister-in-law of N. That means N should be here. Now let's understand the word in-laws. In-laws किसको बोलते हैं? Suppose I marry a female. Okay, I marry a female. Now, whoever is in her family, I would call them in-laws. I would call them in-laws. Okay, my wife will have a mother, so I will not call her mother because I have my own mother. So mother word is for my mother. Her I am going to call mother-in-law. Okay, because she is the mother of my wife. So whoever it is in my wife's family, if I look from my perspective, all of them are in-laws. All of them are in-laws. So when I say that M is sister-in-law of N, then obviously N should be brother or sister of A, and this M should come here. Now see, A, who is sister-in-law of N? Yes. Okay? Now suppose I say N is a sister of A. Suppose I say N is a sister of A, then obviously N would be a sister for M also, but she is not her blood sister. She is sister of my what? Of my wife, so I would call her sister-in-law. Okay? So A is the husband of M, who is the sister-in-law of N. So N's sister-in-law is M. Clear? Okay? Okay, next part. N's sister-in-law would be M. Okay na? Next. N is the daughter of R. N is the daughter. So I would put N to be a female, and she is a daughter of R and U. And U. That means I would say R and U are couple. Now they have just said that they are the daughter of R and U. Now we don't know R is a male or U is a male, or R is a female or a U is a female. So we are just going to put it like this. Next part. M is the daughter-in-law of U. M is the daughter-in-law of U. I can already see. See, M is the daughter-in-law. Daughter-in-law means what? You would call N her blood daughter because she is her own daughter. But M would be a daughter for her only because I am the son. Okay, I am the son. So if I marry my wife, so she would be like a daughter, but not actual blood daughter. So what they will call her? They would call her daughter-in-law. Daughter-in-law means my wife. Okay, my wife, my parents would call her daughter-in-law. So I would say, sir, M is the daughter-in-law of you. So we can already see M is a female, so M is the daughter-in-law of you. Now, how is A related to you? Now you have to look from you to A. You have to look from you towards A. So when I look from you towards A, I'll be able to see that, see you, okay, I don't know gender of you, but whoever you is, what will this you call A? Her or his son? Sani to bolega na? What will my parents call me? Even my father would call me son, even my mother would call me son. Okay? So we are not concerned about this gender. They are not asking you how is you related to A. If it was you related to A, then I would have looked from A to U and I would have said cannot be determined because U's gender is not specified. But they are asking you to find the relation of A related to you. So from you, you have to look A. So if I look from U to A, you will be able to see that, sir, A would be the son of you. So answer would be option A. Son. Clear? Okay. ठीक है ना, easy है ना? Okay. तो चलो next question is a homework for you. ठीक है? Next question is a homework for you. I'll see you in the upcoming session, and there we'll be starting our class with this question. ठीक है? So this would be a homework question for you. You can take a snapshot of it and you can try it. ठीक है ना? So it's always like this. So I start the class, and when I end the class, I always make sure to give you homework so that you have something to do it. What are the things that you have to do after the class? The first thing that you have to do after the class, if you're studying, is that you must revise the same thing again and also practice the same thing again and again, whatever I have explained it to you. Next part is you have to do the homework question. So now I'm giving you only one question as it is a demo class, but in paid batches, I'll be giving you 15 to 20 question set minimum in one particular topic. So like that for the entire topic, suppose there are 3 classes, you'll be getting around about 60 to 70 questions in one topic. Okay, and that is more than sufficient for your exam. Okay, so once you join this batch, I can guarantee that you won't have to worry about the written part. Okay, written exam would surely be cleared. You just have to focus on the physical exam. ठीक है, physical exam मतलब physical test होता है ना, running and all, उस पे थोड़ा ध्यान देना. Otherwise, I can guarantee that you will be able to make out written exam surely. Okay, I'm mostly confident for my subject, so in reasoning you won't have any problem. I can guarantee that you'll be able to solve 100% question. Okay, and and you should know that reasoning and maths or quants are the only subject where you can score 100 out of 100 because it is totally concept based and the answers should match your answer if it is correct. But your theoretical subjects like GK, GS, these are all ocean, so you don't even know what kind of question can come to your exam. Okay, they can pick any question from anywhere, and it's not always 100% surety that you'll be getting the same question what you have learned. And GK, GS, so they can put any question. So GK, GS section, most students they do hit and trial, but I would suggest do not do hit and trial. Tukka method mat lagana. Always try to look for the right answer. If you know, you attempt. If you don't know, then leave it. It's better in that way. Because if there is a negative marks, then instead of getting marks, you'll be ending up losing marks what you have scored already. Okay, so thank you. This was the last demo class. So I'm expecting to see you in our paid batches. Okay, in there you'll be able to see the quality of class, and also I'll be giving you each and every topic more precisely, more clearly. So once you join this particular batch, you don't have to worry about anything. Okay, what you have to study, what are the studies, materials that you have to follow, everything will be given by us. Study materials also will be giving, and also there is a provision of live class and recorded classes. So it is not that the timing that we put the live classes, you'll have to be available there. You can always have the flexibility to do the classes later on.